Good morning. Welcome to the Celtic Way Morning Briefing Live. It's Wednesday, the 28th of February. Game day, Ryan. It's game day. Yes, come on. Celtic playing Dundee tonight, as we're all very aware. And Hamish is off today. Day off for Hamish, so you're stuck with your old dad here and the young team there. I'm Tony Haggerty at Haggerty10 on the X Twitter handle, and I'm delighted to be joined today, as always, by Ryan McGinley at the Ryan McGinley. How are you, sir? You good?
Yeah, things are good. Looking forward to the game tonight. Hopefully Celtic can get into a bit of form going into the business end of the season if they're not already in the business end of the season. Yeah, looking forward to the game tonight. Looking forward to seeing what team Rodgers likes to go for. And yeah, it's a home game, so what can you complain about? Going off to Celtic Park to watch Celtic. Hopefully they can bring the 3 points back, and then it's just business as usual. Basically, they just need to win, keep on winning their games. Performances are a bonus, but I would like to see a performance tonight as well. But 3 points are paramount. Hopefully they can get that. No injuries, and then go to Tynecastle.
Yes, indeed, that's exactly what we're hoping for, Ryan. And first and foremost, we say thank you to MPH Group, who sponsor the Celtic Way morning briefing for all your plumbing, heating, kitchen and bathroom needs, as well as the Navien boiler promotion. You can check their links out in the description of this video. So we say thank you to them. And also, if you enjoy what we do, we urge and implore you to hit that subscribe button, guys. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. You help us create this content and also support top quality journalism in the process. £4 for 4 months or £18 for a yearly subscription. Hit the button, guys. www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe. Now, Ryan, the manager spoke yesterday. You had the pleasure of being off. Your old dad had the pleasure of 14 minutes of transcription worth of tape. Marvellous. But he covered a few issues. Not going to dwell on it too much, but I thought he handled the main issue, hangover from Sunday, very, very well.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, he said as much as he could have, and hopefully that's it. Just drawing a line under now. That's it now. Moving on. The sort of discourse in the media recently has been quite vicious in all angles to Brendan Rodgers. There's been plenty of accusations thrown his way, plenty of things to describe him as, which I wouldn't agree with whatsoever in terms of his character. But I thought he handled it okay. Maybe a couple of things he maybe shouldn't have said, but on the whole, I thought he dealt with it okay. And yeah, the focus is very much on the football now. Yeah, he dealt with it as good as he could, but it was always going to get asked in that press conference.
Yeah, of course.
I think the main thing to take from it is that the other person that was involved didn't take any offence to the comment. Although the comment didn't look good, it's a good sign that she didn't take any offence to that, and like that's water under the bridge. Basically, that should be it. That should be just the end. There shouldn't be anything more, in my opinion. Anyway, football is a very quick game. It moves on very, very quickly, and you would hope that now the focus is purely on the football.
Correct. Jamie McCready comes in and says here, talking about it isn't drawing a line under it. This is contributing to the circus. Come on, lads, get on to the football. We are talking about Brendan Rodgers in his preview for the Dundee game, his comments yesterday, Jamie, so we have to address it. And so we are drawing a line under it, and we are saying we felt that he dealt with it very well. And so, Storm in the Teacup says Pablo67. Brendan was class as always, says Brendan Monaghan. And spoken like a true gentleman as Brendan is, says Gordon Coney. There, we will draw a line under it now, Jamie. And we are talking about the football, because Brendan said a few other things, Ryan. He was annoyed at the booing of the substitution. We noticed that on Sunday, didn't we? When Tomoki Iwata came off and Paulo Bernardo came on, there was a wee kind of ripple amongst the supports, because I think they were disappointed for Iwata, but Brendan was kind of disappointed in that reaction, wasn't he? He addressed that as well yesterday.
Yeah, but I think it's important to remember the context as to why Iwata was getting booed as he came off the park. That is due in no part to his own game, because Iwata was playing well. In fact, the
Yes.
fans, at least I can't speak for all of the supporters, but I presume the reason why they were booing Iwata was because he was actually coming into a game the last 5-10 minutes before he got taken off. I felt like he'd installed some control in the midfield in the middle of the park. So when he was getting taken off in place of other players that maybe weren't contributing as much in that same midfield, then that was the reason. I just think the context has been lost of Brendan Rodgers on that.
Yeah.
I don't think he understands the situation, but just fair enough. I can see why, in black and white, right, I'm getting moved for this substitution. I don't get why defensive player for an attacking player. I just think it's because people have been waiting for so long to see Tomoki Iwata in the lineup, and to see him as sort of the first one that falls by the wayside in that midfield when the whole midfield wasn't performing whatsoever. That was what prompted that response. I was perplexed at the sub myself. It turns out it did work out because Celtic get 2 goals after it, because players get pushed further forward. It was an attacking substitution. But yeah, I just think the context has been a wee bit confused there from Brendan Rodgers, and it wasn't down to Iwata's own performance. It was due to the fact that there were other players that maybe weren't pulling their weight at that point in the game. Yes, they stood up and were counted for at the end of the game, but yeah, I thought that maybe the context was lost for Brendan Rodgers, which is totally understandable.
Yeah, I think it's just a kind of overall picture as well, that Celtic were pressing for a goal, and I wrote about it yesterday, talking about the next. It was 12 games then, it's 11 games now, isn't it? It's squeaky bum time. So every time something happens, and your nerves are going to be shredded by the end of this ride, aren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm thriving on it. I'm looking forward to the next game now, and I think that's just because of a late winner as well.
So is Adamida. He's thriving on it too.
Yeah, well, he's probably the first name on the team sheet, apart from Hart and Cal McGregor, I would say, and Yang to that extent as well. But he'll be looking forward to tonight. He scored his first couple of Celtic goals. He's now scored goals from open play. Now it's time for him to score some goals at home for Celtic.
Yeah.
He's got to tick off all these boxes.
Yeah, correct.
He ticks off all of the boxes that are required, and Celtic will win this league, because he'll fire Celtic to the title. Because if you look at that list, I guarantee you on that list will be score a goal against Rangers. If he can get those goals, it'll be the difference between Celtic and Rangers, and be that main man up front. Then he'll go a long way into deciding the fate of this title. I think he's a guy that's very much on form, that's very much enjoying his football at the moment, this new lease of life he's got at Celtic. And yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him tonight in person. I'm lucky enough to have watched every game that he's played in person thus far, since he joined the club. But I just want him to score a home goal tonight and feel that love from the supporters, because he certainly got it from the away fans. So it's about time he hears it from the 60,000 fans that will come and see him tonight. I just think he brings something different, and so far, for a last minute signing, and Celtic have been pretty good with last minute signings over the past couple of years. You look at Carter Vickers, Yakimakis, and Jota, who were all signed near abouts the end of the window. Adamida seems like another stroke of genius as well. They were in a bit of a tight spot with the striking position. They needed an answer, and they seem to have got one with Adamida, and he's a guy that's really, really fit in quite quickly. He had to fit in quickly, but at the same time he has, and credit to him. I just want to see him score a couple of goals tonight and really kick on and be a prolific striker, because that's something he's not been in his career so far. So I want to see him turn into that. I think he's got all the capabilities to become a top striker. He's got all the tools at his disposal. So let's see that come together.
Now you can see why the manager did enthuse about him when he brought him in. Said there was technique there, said there was speed, there was physicality. You're seeing all that now. Lots of comments coming in around, lots of people looking forward to tonight. 315 people joining us live, so thanks very much, guys. Appreciate your input. I'll just go through some of those comments just now. Okie dokie, where are we? John Milan, morning lads, on the way over from Galway, not sure what to expect tonight. At them from the start. Safe trip, John. Mikey boy, he'll hear everyone fully expect a convincing win tonight. Go at Dundee straight from the kickoff and don't stop. Nothing less than that. Celtic need to see this team. The fans need to see the team have consistency and desire to win the title. Agree with that. Pete McGee saying, morning Pete, how you doing? A start as fast as the second half start versus Motherwell is what's needed tonight. then have every chance of being ahead by a couple of goals at least by half time. Agree with that. Paul Montgomery, hail from Luxembourg. Thank you, Paul, tuning in from Luxembourg. Good man. Derek Smith, fight, heart and speed from start to finish is the way Celtic should approach every game from now on in. Morning, Helen, how you doing? Hi all. Hopefully fast, furious football tonight, showing intent for future games. Here's one. Gordon Coney, he's optimistic. Morning, guys. Woke up feeling optimistic. I sense Celtic 7 Dundee now. Now, Ryan, you've mentioned a couple of players you want to see start. Ida's one of them. Iwata was another, I think. Well, sorry, Yang was another. You said, no, I mean, we won't blow our whole 11, but they'll be coming out some point today, yeah?
Yeah, I
Midday?
think, midday, around about that time, we're going to work on them quite quickly.
Predicted
After
11s,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, predicted 11s. We would have had them out earlier, but I was off yesterday, so
well, I know you were off yesterday,
yeah. They'll be out about, I'd say 12, 1 o'clock. So don't want to give too much away because we'll talk about the actual team on our pre-match show.
Yes.
But I think you know there's players that have played their way into the starting lineup for me, and Yang is definitely one of them for me. I don't think that's too much of a spoiler. I put out a tweet yesterday talking about Yang and how I think he'd be one of the first names on the team sheet. I just think he was so positive on Sunday when he came onto the park, and the team as a whole looked quite negative up until players like Yang and Ida came on. They understood the assignment and they knew that they had to come on and make that difference from then until the final whistle. They only had a short time on the park. You know, they weren't going to play the whole game, so they had to show in that time that they were ready to come on and make a difference, and they both did. Yang was so important for both goals and that or both late goals, one from Ida and one from Luis Palma. I know that he only got one assist, but he got the secondary assist for Alistair Johnson, who put the ball into Ida for the winner. I just think his impact was so good. And it's not even just the goals; it's the way he takes on his man. He's not scared. He will get a lot of the ball. He will make mistakes. He's only 21, 22 years old, but there's definitely a player there to nurture. I just think, what's this player going to be like? What's he going to be like in a year once he's had a full year's training or a full year's acclimatisation? I think he's going to be a special player if he can keep on going in the same trajectory. Consistency is his biggest fault, but if he can get any sort of consistency, then I think that spot's his for the taking, to be honest.
Of the wingers, he looks the more likely and more capable, and he's doing what a winger should do. Wants to get to the dead ball line and get across in, wants to beat his man, wants to be positive. I've not seen that from the likes of Palma, Kuhn, even Maida at this moment in time. So your question there, will Yang Hyun-jun cement himself as a Celtic starter tonight? He's got a massive chance because you've got to think that Brendan Rodgers would play him on the back of Firth Park display because he was very positive and he was very good and Celtic got a lot of joy from him. So I'd like to think so. Helen McCallum comes in. Good morning. Come on the hoops tonight. 3-0 Celtic. Hail, hail, she's saying. Big Dom. Morning, Big Dom. How you doing? It's more about the performance than just the win for Big Dom. He's saying there has to be a big improvement. I agree with that, Dom, as well. But I think first and foremost, if they win the game, then you take it from there, but you work on that. Right, that's done. Meister 95 is talking about Brendan Rodgers, I think. Tonight, go into this game, let the football do the talking. Robert Gibson agreeing with us, Ryan, that Iwata should start because he is the number 6. Big Don coming back in saying looking for a big improvement in individual performances, and he's named O'Reilly, Kyogo and Maida. I'm not so sure if Kyogo will start, or Maida, maybe, but certainly O'Reilly has to step now. Parkhead faithful, again, channeling his inner me. Tonight's the night, lads. Rip roaring, free scoring, never boring. Glasgow Celtic, that's what we want to see. And Stephen Mitchell saying, Ryan, Bernardo did well when he came on, so he thinks he needs to start tonight. And Pablo 67 comes back and says, Ida's definitely got to start tonight. And Hazel Finn reacting to the substitution that Brendan made on Sunday. Morning, Hazel. She's a big Iwata fan, but she's saying Brendan Rodgers got it right in the end. The manager is doing his job and being tactical, surely. And Kaiser, morning Kaiser, saying he's thinking Celtic starting to fire, Tony. Another positive one saying it's Celtic's title all the way. That'll all come out in the wash. Try to read as many comments as I can, guys, amongst the chat with myself and Ryan. Just go through a few of them as we can and see fit. But Yeah, Ryan, are you expecting a big performance tonight from Celtic? Are you expecting some kind of kick on and reaction from Fir Park? I know we've said that a lot recently, but I said yesterday it's certainly a chance to register some goals in the goals for column, isn't it? But Tony Docherty, as the manager, said yesterday as well, has done a wonderful job with Dundee this season. It ain't going to be easy. 3-0 Celtic have beaten them twice, but it's been 0-0 at half time in both of those games. Turned it on in the second half. So, are you expecting the same again, or are you expecting a bit of rip-roaring, free-scoring, never boring Celtic to come out the traps and have a right go at it?
I'll be honest, I want a fast start and I want it filtering through to Rugby Park on the other side. It's you've got to insert pressure, and the only way
Yeah, of
Celtic can
course.
insert pressure is by maintaining home dominance. No two ways about it. That's a difficult game for Rangers tonight at Kilmarnock against an informed Kilmarnock side. Celtic know all about that side. Rangers know all about that side because they dropped points at the start of the season, first game of the season. I know they had a different manager then, but you know, by and large, it'll be a lot of the same players that'll be going there. They'll know all about how difficult it is to go to Rugby Park. Expecting a performance tonight, but you want the performance to then translate into goals. Usually one goes with the other with Celtic. If Celtic have a good performance, then they'll have the goals to show for it, because a lot of people talk about scoring lots of goals as being a good performance. Sometimes that isn't always the case, but most of the time it is. So yeah, I'm hoping for an early start, a quick start. Celtic to really to insert their dominance on the game really quickly, and that to filter through. Pressure is so paramount in this. It's tight between Celtic and Rangers at the moment, so any sort of advantage that you can get at this moment in time is so important. If Celtic can be winning by a few goals, that filters through, and you know that'll put the pressure from one side to the other. I'm not really sure where the pressure is at the moment. I think both sides will be feeling it, but you know, it'll be a storyline tonight. It'll be interesting for whoever scores the first goal. Then the pressure will be on the other side to answer that. But Celtic have got the advantage. They're playing at home. They'll have their 60,000 fans, or near enough 60,000 fans. It's a chance to get that goal difference down, because it could be key at the end of the season. You know, Celtic have got to get that as close as they can. They need to start scoring goals and dispatching of teams much earlier in games, and then adding those goal difference at the end of games. But yeah, put that pressure on, see what can happen, and you just never know. You've got to be in it to win it, as I always say. If you insert that pressure, then you never know what can happen in other fixtures around the league. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed that Celtic can get those early goals and apply some much needed pressure, because at the moment it doesn't seem as if there's a lot of pressure on the other side, and it's time to put that pressure back on.
Typhoon McFlustry comes in. Great name. Either for a double tonight. Michael Ross, Iwata needs games, so he's obviously a starter for him tonight. Patrick McLaughlin, we make this, Ryan. We were texting about this last night. Ida will outshine Haaland's 5-goal haul last night. Pity he doesn't have Kevin De Bruyne.
That was exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say, as much as I would enjoy Haaland in this team, I think I would take Kevin De Bruyne over him. He's just a different level. De Bruyne, he is the benchmark for attacking midfielders. You know, that's a player for Matt O'Reilly to aspire to, and other players in and around the team. That's the benchmark.
Des Harkin, a full 90 minutes of intense attacking football needed to show intent. I'm on board with that, Des. I want to see Celtic come flying out the traps. You see, Ryan, let's give the team on the other side of the city something to think about. Let's whittle down. I'd love to see that goal difference be 1 or 2 or even none, wiped out completely tonight. I really think Celtic should set about Dundee. I know it's not as easy as that, but just think the mood's there after Sunday, and you can cash in on that by those 3 points going to galvanising effect. Hopefully that's the one. Big Jose 67, totally agree. Got to pick up from where we left on Sunday and get at them right from the first whistle. Correct, that's exactly what they must do. But winning's paramount. If it doesn't pan out that way, they've just got to win the game, Ryan. Get the result, hopefully playing fast attacking football and build confidence. And love it, Ryan, saying, my goodness, Ryan, you're slacking off, taking a day off. That's scandalous. Only joking, buddy. Let me tell you guys, young man deserves his day off. We both do. We both work hard at this. We try and make it look easy, but it's anything but, is it, Ryan? Lots of preparation, lots of work goes into this. But as we've said before, to quote your man there, we do love it it's a joy to do. But yeah, it's 24/7. You never really switch off. Sometimes that's why we maybe look like half shut nice in the morning briefing. Speaking for myself personally, the oil of volley no working. But yeah, it's something that we love doing. We wouldn't want to do anything else. But young man's entitled to a day off, as am I at some point this week. I think Thursday's daddy doggy
Tomorrow,
daycare day.
yeah.
That's the way we do it. But yeah, lots of people saying, Ryan, that they want a fast tempo from Celtic tonight. I'd like that myself, I've got to be honest.
I think we've wanted it all season. It's just it always hasn't turned out that way. I want to see a performance akin to the Hearts away. I know that's the next place that Celtic are going in the league, apart from Celtic Park tonight, obviously. But I want to see a performance like that. I want to see a performance like the Aberdeen game, although I think part of that performance, Aberdeen at home, was down to how bad Aberdeen were on the day. They were absolutely dreadful. But it's up to Celtic. They've got the players to make this work. They've got treble winners in and around that team, a team that have been used to playing for Ange Postecoglou last season, not to mention them too much, but they've got the levels in them. It's just all about unlocking those levels, and it's going to be a fight from now until the end of the season.
Yep.
11 games to go. I want to see 11 good performances, or as close to 11 good performances as you can. If that's the case, then they'll get the results that they need. Those two games against Rangers, they're really looming large. They're going to be massive between now and the end of the season, but they're only massive if Celtic can keep up what they're doing just now and winning games, because if they can keep it close, then I think they've got every chance of turning the tide in this season and making it happen. But they've got to keep it close. They cannot afford any banana peel games like tonight.
Yes.
Tonight could be a potential banana peel game. They'll be playing up against a low block. It's a difficult one for Celtic to deal with this season, but they've got to find ways, because that's what they're going to be playing with the majority of weeks. That is the sort of opposition that they'll just come up against, and that's their prerogative. It's the best way these teams are probably going to get a point, because if they come out flying, and it's an opinion that I've had, and it's changed over the past couple of years, because I used to be quite annoyed that teams weren't coming out and playing fast flowing football against Celtic and open football, but if that's their best route to getting points against Celtic, then it's entirely their prerogative to do so. Because if that's the equipment that they've got and the tools, if they've got a lack of tools, then that's what they should do. So I've kind of understood that as the years have gone on. But low block, they know what they're going to come up against tonight. It's all about how Celtic can unlock that low block. You're on mute.
My dogs are going mental because the bin men have turned up to take the bins away. But there you go, as you can hear. So yeah, I'll switch it off, right? Because they are going a bit mental. And if you want to take the reins for a couple of minutes, I'll come back in a second. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So just in the comments, guys, while Tony's just dealing with that, I want to hear your score predictions for tonight. I know we usually do that in the in the pre-match show, but at the same time, Tony's dealing with his dogs, so I'd like to hear what you think the score is going to be tonight. Do you think it's going to be a comfortable win, or do you think it's going to be more closer? For me personally, I think we'll see the real Celtic tonight. Now, Tony always talks about, will the real Celtic stand up in a sort of ode to Slim Shady, but what is the real Celtic this season? Is it that slow, lethargic one, or is it the one that we all know and kind of love, the fast-flowing, free-scoring that Tony talks about as well? Paul Hagen comes in and says 3-1 to Celtic. Chill Pill says 2-0 Celtic. Welsh Paul's given us two score lines here, 3-0 to Celtic at home and one each at Killie. I think that would make the table even, and then it would go to goal difference, which would be quite interesting. Ben Storer says, I fancy a solid 4-0 tonight. Hazel Finn, always in the comments, 3-1. B says 9-0. That would really eradicate the goal difference, although I don't think anything near will happen tonight. Gorilla in Manila, I like that name. Celtic 4, Dundee 1. O'Reilly to find his form tonight. He needs to find it from now. Or needs to rekindle his form from now until the end of the season. Seamus Gallagher says 4-0 to Celtic. Helen Feeks says 3-0 Celtic. So yeah, people are really confident in the comment section. Tony, what's the situation on your end with the bin men and the bin gate with your dogs?
It's all gone quiet now, so all good. Just they come right outside the gate and bed dragged to about all that.
You really threw that at me, but I think I dealt with it okay.
Oh, you dealt with it like a true pro, Ryan. True pro. You know, the Mikey boy coming in. Appreciate the hard work you guys do to bring us these briefings and articles. Look forward to every morning. Thank you. And Ampang boy saying hard work every day, boys. Outstanding effort. See, that's just an example of the outstanding effort there, Ryan. Throw you the reins. Didn't mean to do that. Put you in the spot. Sorry about that, but
No,
that
you're
was
right.
the noise sometimes. You know what they're like. I have 4 of them. Well, I have 5 dogs actually, but it's what it is. You know, so there you go. John Summers scoring goals, build confidence in the team. He doesn't fire, and Yang and Iwata should start. Good enough for me. I like the sound of that. And Blake Owen saying Ryan might have a day off here and there, but he was just watching him on another platform. The man works himself hard. You do indeed. Stephen saying win 4-0 more, we win the league mentally. With a 4-0 or more win, he's saying we win the league mentally. There you go. And Jim Forrest saying he'd like to see Iwata starting 3-0 Celtic. And Chilpil, Dundee are a good team. It won't be easy. Correct. Dundee are a good team. Tony Docherty doing a wonderful job, having branched out on his own as a manager this season for the first time. Scott Dougal saying he would bench Matt O'Reilly and start with Bernardo, Ryan.
Wouldn't be against it. I don't know if it's one of the changes that I'll make to the team, even though I've kind of been calling for it. I don't know if you play Matt O'Reilly through his bad form at the moment and try and get something, or you put him on the bench and give him an opportunity to work on things. You know, the last time Celtic played Dundee, Paulo Bernardo was front and centre, so it might be a good game to bring him back into the fold. For me, and there's just a point that I wanted to make, and it came into my head. There's one side in Glasgow at the moment that looks as if they can score 3 or 4 goals in every game, and they're getting a lot of goals. I want to see Celtic become that second team. I want Celtic to be able to do that tonight. So there seems to be I don't know if it's a misconception or an expectancy that Celtic can't score a lot of goals in games. I know they won 3-1, but they only won it by 2 goals. I know it's an away game at Fir Park, and that is a good result. But I want to see Celtic score goals tonight. I really want them to assert their dominance on proceedings. Dundee are a good side. It looks as if they'll probably make the top 6, which is an incredible first return for Dundee to the top flight. I know they get relegated, what was it, 2 years ago in Postecoglou's first season, but they've bounced back really well. So I want to see, but at the same time, I want to see Celtic on a show tonight. I want to see them get goals. I want to see good performances. They need to kick on because they'll need a good performance against Hearts at Tynecastle, regardless of what the result was for Hearts in the last game, but regardless of what the result will be tonight in the Edinburgh Derby. Hearts always up their game. They always do for those ties at Tynecastle, and Celtic just need to up their game and get to that level because they know they'll be in for a fight both tonight and on Sunday. If they can get back on form and get back to scoring goals, then it makes these trips a lot easier. But in order to do that, they need players like O'Reilly. They need Ida to be continuing to score. They need their wingers to be contributing wing-wise. They need that. They need the fullbacks to be contributing as wingers too, because they were the best wingers for me at the weekend.
Yeah. Sunday,
it wasn't the actual
providing the assist, didn't
they? Yeah. Greg Taylor's ball into Ida was a thing of beauty. I think it's every bit as good as the header from Ida. Alistair Johnston, good play from Yang, and then a nice wee cutting ball into Ida. Ida just had to pass it into the net. So yeah, looking at the statistics as well, and I think I mentioned this on Monday, if Alistair Johnston can keep up those numbers from now until the end of the season, there'll be no doubt as to who'll be playing the right back position, because he was immense. Once he took the mask off, it seemed as if he was a different player. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if it's he could see, but it's maybe the peripheral vision was annoying him a bit. He could maybe see the bits.
Yeah.
And that would be annoying, because I know football players are meticulous and they look for every single percentage of an increase in their game. But having that on, it must annoy you. It must throw you off guard. Sometimes players deal with it better than others. Callum McGregor, look at his performance against Rangers when he came back. But with Alistair Johnston, it'll be interesting to see if he actually keeps it on tonight or if he takes it off for the whole game. He's better safe than sorry. If he has got any issues at all, then it'd be better keeping it on. But the fact that he took it off after Motherwell scored that goal makes me think that it was maybe an optional thing, because regardless if he needs to wear it or not, if he feels better with it on and feels safer, then you'd want him to be wearing it, because you don't want him to aggravate that injury. If every header he's worried to go up because something might happen again. So yeah, he's better doing what he feels is right. But if he can get a better performance out of not wearing it and he doesn't need to wear it, then I'm all for that as well. But yeah, if Alistair Johnson can keep up his good form that he showed in the last game, then I think Celtic will be okay on the night.
Steve McGrory saying AJ also spoke well at yesterday's press conference too. He did actually, but you know what he's like. He loves to chat. He was another 14 minutes worth of press conference, but I was spared the rod on that one, Ryan, because you were off. That was very kind. But there you go. Yeah, he did speak very well. Sort of saying Celtic adopting a kind of right, let's have it mentality type thing, and he was hoping they take that into tonight. More comments. I've just started a few in. Monty, be clinical, Celtic, then relax into your game. And love it come back in saying we all respect the hard work you all put in for the fans and podcast guys. Big hail. Thank you for that. Really appreciate that. It's very kind. And Jim McLaughlin, bin still getting emptied. Lucky you, Tony. They are indeed. I don't know where you stay. Yeah. And Stephen, 4-0, Tony's dogs to bag all the goals. That'd be fun. Monty come back in. It's all about getting the first and second goals quickly, be clinical and aggressive. Yeah, and I think, on you go.
It's the second goal that's the most important.
Yeah,
and I know that sounds really daft because Celtic need to score a first goal in order to be winning the game. But they have been doing that. They've been scoring goals in games.
Yeah.
It's just there seems to be this lethargy that kicks in after they score the first goal. You know, why stop at one? Finish the game and then you can be as lethargic as you like in the second half because the game is over. After scoring that first goal, I want them to consolidate on that, get the second, get the third if the chances are there. I just feel like when Celtic scored their first goal, and this is what happened against Kilmarnock, you know, they scored their goal and then they stopped. They had chances, but they allowed Kilmarnock to gain more and more confidence in the game. And that's how the equaliser happened because they didn't put the game to bed. That Paulo Bernardo chance, that'll haunt, that's probably still haunting him for how he should have scored that and it went wide of the post. But it's all about getting that second goal.
I don't think they'll necessarily relax now because goals are paramount now. It could come down to that. So I think if they get the first, then they'll be hell-bent on getting a second quickly. And you'll see that. No, I think there'll be the tempo being upped in every game now. I think the manager spoke about that, playing with speed and tempo and a purpose. Pete McGee saying for him, Ida, Palmer, Yang and Iwata all have to start. He's saying he can't drop Matt O'Reilly, Ryan.
You can.
In capital letters with exclamation marks. Helen Feeks saying fans are due a game without nail biting and to enjoy it. I think that's true, Helen. I'm hoping it's tonight. And Henrik Melarsson saying, well done, guys. You couldn't do our job. It's a labour of love executed perfectly. That's very kind. Thank you, Henrik McLarsson. Nice name as well. But yeah, I don't want to see Celtic relax tonight at all, Ryan, at any stage. I just want to see them go hell for leather and get the job done. You know, I get back to it. Got to win the game. That's paramount. But I just think this is a chance for them tonight to maybe register a few goals and get everybody back on side with a swashbuckling type performance. I'm hoping for.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that the supporters in the stadium, get behind the team as well, because the past couple of games have been a bit, especially at home, they've been a bit, nervy. I'm just hoping that late goal, though, that late flurry of goals from Ida and Palma can galvanise the support as well and then really get behind the team. I'm sure they will get behind the team, and I'm sure things will be a lot better than what they were. But, potentially if it's not going as well at the start or they haven't got a goal in the first 10, 20 minutes, I think the support kind of needs to understand as well that there is a lot of pressure going into these games too. There will be a lot of pressure to win every single game from now until the end of the season. I'm sure they can do it, but patience may be the order of the day or the order of the night tonight. And if it doesn't come straight away, then you just need to be patient and continue to back the team, because it hasn't always been like that this season. And I don't like to talk about that, but I think it does feed its way. It does find its way onto the pitch from the supporters to the fans. If from the supporters to the fans, from the supporters to the players. If there's that united front from the supporters willing the team on to the players doing well on the park, then I think there'll be only one winner tonight. But it's all about everybody staying on the same page and getting that result.
Yeah, that's paramount too. Just everybody getting behind the team and the manager and the players, and I'm sure they will too. The crowd will be with the team tonight, 100% backing and put the fear into Dundee. It's time to unite and push our team on. That's exactly it. It's a final push, guys. It's just vitally important that Celtic win this title. Every game's a cup final now, no relaxing. That's the way. And Pete McGee, it's called emphasis, Tony. Emphasis, yes. I want Celtic players to put the emphasis on beating Dundee by a few goals tonight. Pete McGee, hope that happens. And B comes in. Celtic are too slow, speed it up. And Big Dom, Celtic are all, the fans are all hoping that the players whose form has dropped off returns tonight. Couldn't agree more with that. And Thomas Gallagher, take the shackles off, boys. Well, I think the shackles have to come off now, don't they? They have to go for it. And Pablo 67 saying the Celtic team need the supporters more than ever now. They most certainly do. Ryan, we'll be back pre-match, won't we? And post-match at some point. It's going to be another busy one, guys. We'll be strapping ourselves in for, goodness knows, a roller coaster of a night. We'll be on 3 times. Pete McGee saying he fancies 4-0. Yep, just good point, Ryan. Somebody saying there at Ampong Boy, they need to feel that Celtic, that the supporters are behind them. And Steggs comes in, keeps saying the fans need to back and encourage the team for 90 minutes. So there you go. I think it's everybody has to play their part tonight, Ryan, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And get Celtic over the line, and especially over these next 11 games as well. So, comments coming in thick and fast, guys. So every time I try and hit one, it jumps to the next one. So apologies if you read a comment there that shouldn't have appeared, but that's the joys of live podcasting, isn't it, Ryan? I'm trying to keep your eye on everything and hold it all together. There you go.
Yep. Yeah, everybody has to be together, from the player to the managers to the players to the supporters. It's the only way it's going to work, because if there's too much pressure, then I don't think Celtic will play their best game. But I think that the players are important to that as well. They can't allow it to become that situation where it's getting nervy. Take that out of their hands. Take that out of the supporters' hands to get nervy by winning the game comfortably. I think that's the only reason why people are getting tetchy, is because the games are close. And I think everybody could see that equaliser coming from Kilmarnock when it happened last Saturday, or a couple of Saturdays ago, because you allow, when it's 1-0 going into the dying embers of the game, there's always a chance that the opposition can just throw hell for leather, and that's what they did. So,
and as the manager says, it's up to Celtic to write their own story. So I'm confident that the players can do that tonight, and we'll see how that turns out. We'll end it there, guys. Jerry Smith, hail, lads. Great show. Come on, the boys. Thanks very much. Very kind. Typhoon McFlustery, great show, lads. Here's hoping have a lot more to talk about tonight. Positive. Yep, that's exactly what we're hoping for. Great show as always, as usual, lads. Thank you, Seamus. Appreciate that. Lots of 4 and 5-0 predictions, Ryan. 5-1 from Will McMillan as well. Hazel Finn, great show, guys. Hope the Celtic Road drives to victory. Looking forward to tonight. Ryan, you'll be there tonight. You'll be looking forward to tonight, won't you? Maestro 95 saying this could be a night to remember. Here's hoping that's the case. Cheers, lads. God bless. Same to you, Pablo 67. Thank you. And James Larkin saying a very good point. It's the media that writes Celtic off, not Celtic supporters never write the team off, and you never write Brendan Rodgers off either. What time you on later, says Paul? Paul will be on when the team...
You muted yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Some loose connections there.
So if it is a 7:45 kickoff, so I'm thinking probably about 20 to 7.
Yeah, 27.
Round about that time. Yeah, because we need to do the team graphics as well, and then we'll put that onto the pre-match briefing.
Yeah,
so,
that's exactly.
Just give us 10 minutes after the teams are announced, and we'll react to them. Gives you time to react to them as well, and it gives us time to react and then get ready for the show. So we'll be on. We'll be on before the game.
7-ish, certainly around about then, 27, 47. But enjoy, guys. We'll see you later on. We're away to do our predicted 11s, Ryan. Is that right?
Yep, absolutely. We'll be live in about an hour or so. So
stellar contribution as always. Thank you for taking the reins there when the dogs were giving it loudy, as they say in this neck of the world. There you have it, Ryan. We shall see you later, guys. See you soon.
Cheers, guys.